So I'm gonna go over my story a little bit more for people that are new or can't find my older videos on YouTube. I believe that I was kidnapped at birth. I kind of thought that Princess Diana was my mom and that she slept with her husband's brother, and then they covered it up and didn't want anybody to know. So when I was born, I was either kidnapped or something happened to me, and I ended up over here illegally adopted into a family that basically tortured me my whole life and didn't really take good care of me. Had a rough childhood, very abusive parents. Father, he drank a lot and he abused drugs. Mother had psychological problems, and I had a stepfather who had psychological problems too, and took it out on me. I was treated really poor as a kid. A lot of bad things happened to me. If I was to go into all the things, I'd be on here for hours. But just trying to do a summary here and get everything in there that I can. I was kept in special ed throughout school, uh, elementary, middle school, and high school because they told me that I had mental disabilities and they gave me medication all the time. I was heavily medicated throughout my life up until a couple years ago when I quit all medications, and I haven't done any medications at all in a couple years, except for some painkillers whenever I have an injury or a toothache or something, or a headache. Um, Bad things have occurred throughout my life because of my false family, false friends, church cults, government officials, federal agents. They set things up throughout my life and my path to throw me off of my path, to make things hard on me throughout my life. They poisoned me just so many times. They poisoned me. I can't even count. They pay restaurant workers to poison me when I go to restaurants. They have people stalk me and harass me, and I've even been hit by a car. I've been jumped by people before. They pay people to do things to me all the time, but they've let up over the last uh, month and a half or 2 months because they're getting extreme karma for all the stuff they've done to me now, and so they've learned that if they keep doing it, they're not gonna live much longer. And some of them have a disease, and some of them are homeless now because of what they've done to me. It's ruined their lives, so because of karma. So 5 years ago, when things were really turned for me the worse, after my ex-wife left me, I had to work 3 jobs to try and pay my rent. It was $17.50 a month. I had 3 boys that I was taking care of, and they weren't working or helping support the bills at all. So that it was just me on my own. And the rent was $17.50 a month. I couldn't keep up, and I lost everything. Went homeless. I started living in what I thought was a friend's driveway. I thought she was a friend, but it turned out she was a friend to me, and they started poisoning me, and that's when the poisoning really picked up. Everywhere I'd go, I'd get poisoned and harassed by people, and it's really picked up from there. Church cults going after me, and I would go to the hospital for these poisonings, and the hospital would say I wasn't poisoned, that I was crazy, and they would send me to mental evaluations or to the mental place, and they would say I wasn't mental, and then they would send me on my way. Um, I've been After I lived with the lady that I lived with in her driveway, went to and lived with another guy named Kevin in Siege Woolley, and he started poisoning me too, and his friends started poisoning me, and they were putting like some kind of gas into my room that was making me sick when I was in my room, and I would call the fire department. They would say there was no gas and I was crazy, and then they want me to have a mental evaluation, and this kind of thing went on for a long time there before I found a body under Kevin's house, and then the police said there wasn't a body, and then they sent me to the hospital in Cedar Woolley, even though I had shown them bones. They said the bones were like they made up some story about some dog or something, and were joking around about it. Although I found a bone, I showed them a bone, you know. And then when I was in the hospital, they gave me twice the dose of what they were supposed to give me, and tried to kill me because they said I was out of control, which I wasn't, and it's all on videotape from the hospital. I'm sure somebody has the records somewhere, the video of what happened that day. And then they sent me to the mental hospital, once again, they said I was a mental. They let me go. After that, I actually died on the ambulance and came back to life. And yeah, they thought I wasn't going to make it for that. And then after that, I went back to my house, but they said I was couldn't live there anymore. So they illegally evicted me and said because I was harassing my landlord, which I wasn't. So then I became homeless again. And I've been homeless ever since for a year and 5 months now. Over 5 months, I've been homeless, almost a year and a half. Once in a while, I have money to go to a hotel, so I'll stay at a hotel. But mainly, I just sleep wherever I can in a sleeping bag outside. And I've had my stuff stolen because these church cults pay people to steal stuff from me. So they are always stealing my clothes and all my stuff. I've lost everything, and I've been homeless for a long time now, and nobody helps me or anything. And basically, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. And they've just let off me, like I said, the last month and a half because the karma's hitting them hard. So they're figuring out if they keep going at me, they're just going to lose and they're going to end up dying, which they already are anyways. So most of these people are going to end up in prison for what they've done to me. And people around Mount Vernon and church cults and stuff have stolen a lot of money from me. My family has stolen a lot of money from me. They've altered wills. I have a trust fund, but they won't tell me where the trust fund is, or if someone has stole the trust fund. The authorities won't talk to me. They're investigating it and made arrests and stuff, but they still won't talk to me. The stories of what's happened to me are so wild that I don't even, most people won't even believe it because it's so insane. So, but it's all going to come out eventually on the news, hopefully soon, so that these people can be exposed and put where they belong in prison. A lot of them are federal agents, government officials. The president even knows about it. So it's just crazy how far it goes. So hopefully I get help soon, and because they're leaving me on the streets, I have nowhere to go. I've been kicked out of the homeless shelter for a stage event that they had. This guy was trying to fight me, but I wouldn't fight him. But then I got kicked out of the shelter, and I've been kicked out for almost a month now. And I've been sleeping on the streets, and it's pretty cold, so I really could use some help. But I always ask for help and never get any. So, it is what it is. So I hope everybody has a good night. Goodbye.